This is an ABC News special report.
And good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kira Phillips. We're coming on the air with reports now of 2 National Guard members that have been shot in downtown Washington, D.C., not far from the White House. Both members were in uniform, police and ATF on the scene. A police official telling us that a suspect is down. President Trump deploying the National Guard in August, as you may remember, was part of his effort to crack down on violent crime. As we're seeing play out right now on the streets of D.C. Let's get right to our Jay O'Brien. He's there at the scene. Jay, set the scene for us. Tell us what you know. And we actually see the scene behind you where police are actively working.
Yeah, Kira, a chaotic and tragic scene here. As you can see, more law enforcement arriving. The scene seems to be congregated around the Farragut West Metro Station, there at the end of the block, just beyond that fire truck. We have seen National Guard in recent months stage at these metro stations as part of a larger public safety operation. And as you can see, we see a number of National Guardsmen who have also arrived here. In fact, our bureau is just a few blocks away. As we were running here to this scene to cover the story, we were running behind members of the National Guard who were sprinting here on their cell phones trying to get a sense of what was going on. We saw one apparent victim, someone in National Guard fatigues, being worked on by EMS and other law enforcement. We saw at least one of them at the entrance of the metro station, and then we saw another of those loaded into an ambulance which sped off here with a police escort. Obviously, not much information coming out of this scene. Law enforcement now say they have it locked down, but chaotic here. Another thing we witnessed as we arrived is EMS sprinting to that metro station here. Now this scene has transitioned to be one of an investigation. We've seen federal agents arrive. We've seen tactical units with the Secret Service here, as well as DC Fire, and of course, those fellow National Guardsmen who are here now watching and looking on as this tragic scene unfolds, Kira.
Okay, and I'm continuing to get in new details now, Jay. First of all, this is just heartbreaking. It's Thanksgiving week. This is exactly why the President of the United States put National Guards, men and women, on the streets, specifically in this area because of violent crime he wanted to see an end to. And now we are reporting that a suspect is down after shooting 2 members of the National Guard. They were here not far from our bureau, our ABC News Bureau here in D.C. We're located at DeSales in Connecticut. This is 17th Street and I, if you know it, not far from the White House, only a couple of blocks. You can see all the agencies on the scene, from the ATF to DC Fire, rescue crews carrying out CPR, and obviously members of the National Guard and police. A statement coming from the White House now. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt saying the White House is aware and actively monitoring this tragic situation. The president has been briefed. Secretary Kristi Noem, DHS Secretary, saying, please join me in praying for the 2 National Guardsmen who were just shot moments ago in Washington, D.C. Let's get straight to our Chief Justice Correspondent, Pierre Thomas. Pierre, can you tell us anything about the conditions of those 2 members of the National Guard that have been shot?
Again, we're still awaiting information. Law enforcement officials wanted to first secure the scene, get the victims to medical treatment as soon as possible. Initially, D.C. police were giving guidance that at least 1 National Guardsman was shot. We've now heard from a second D.C. police official who said 2 were injured. 2 were injured. That official also confirming that the suspect is in custody, with another D.C. police official telling me that the suspect was down. I don't know if that suspect was injured or how badly. Again, D.C. police are getting assistance from Secret Service, other federal agencies to secure the scene. And obviously, what I was told is that at 2:20 p.m., there was an active shooter incident at the entrance of that metro stop. Apparently, the National Guard was there. It's unclear if it was a robbery. It's unclear if they were targeted. Again, a lot of information officials are trying to glean to get specifics, but obviously the main priority was getting assistance to the victims who were injured. Crime in D.C. had been going down in recent months, but suffice it to say, gun violence in this country is chronic. And so even when there is improvement, there are always people, unfortunately, who have weapons and are willing to use them. This is a situation, obviously, because of the location near the White House. We're being told that the White House, for at least a period, was put on lockdown as they try to assess the situation. Again, bevy of law enforcement officials there. I've seen those National Guardsmen often on my walk to the metro. They were there, to support D.C. police. Again, they're not law enforcement officials, but they were definitely put in a position today where it was a very tragic circumstance.
Indeed, tragic circumstance just a day before Thanksgiving. And Pierre, just to reiterate, the president has been briefed. We have heard from White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt that not only has the president been briefed, but also that the White House is on lockdown. Also, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem saying, please join me in praying for the two National Guardsmen who were just shot moments ago in Washington, D.C. And if you're just joining us right now, as you know, President Trump has been deploying National Guard troops in cities that he has said have needed the extra support because of crime, violent crime like what we have just seen this afternoon. We can tell you we are trying to confirm at this point whether that suspect is down or in custody. As you heard from our Pierre Thomas, we've been getting reports that either one of those scenarios could be the situation right now, but we can confirm that two members of the National Guard have been shot. National Guard members that were not far from the Farragut West Metro Station. They had been at Union Station, our main train station here in D.C., tourist areas like the mall, where a lot of people have been coming in for Thanksgiving vacation, as you know, and also the metro station. It just so happened that my nephew was here en route to the Bureau visiting for Thanksgiving. He texted me saying, I'm not far from you. We see people running. We see officers in the ready position, guns down, trying to move people away from the scene. And then the yellow tape started to go up. And now we know it's a breaking news situation. Two members of the National Guard shot. Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katersky also working his sources. Anything that you can tell us, Aaron, about the condition of those two members of the National Guard and also the suspect? Is he down? Is he in custody? Do we know?
At least one suspect is in custody, according to D.C. Metro Police, Kira, and the condition of the National Guardsmen who were shot was not immediately clear, although they were seen getting medical attention and immediately rushed to ambulances and presumably to the hospital. So the injuries do appear to be serious, even though we don't know the specific condition. With a suspect in custody and the scene seemingly secure, a focus will turn to whether these guardsmen were specifically targeted. If that's the case, it would fit with what we've been hearing from law enforcement officials for a number of months now, that some political flashpoints in the country, whether that's immigration policies by the administration, the ongoing Israel-Hamas conflict, even amid a tenuous ceasefire, those kinds of flashpoints have made people in uniform, be they military, law enforcement, government officials, people in uniform, have increasingly been targets, and that is going to be one focus of the investigation going forward, Kira.
Okay. Aaron, stay with us as news develops. If you're just tuning in, once again, two members of the National Guard shot. We cannot confirm their condition, but our photographer there, Chris Plater, has been on the scene. He did see EMS working on at least two individuals that were down. As you heard from our Aaron Katersky, at least one suspect is in custody. There's a number of agencies on the scene. You have ATF, you have DC Fire, you have EMS, you have DC Police. And you see, as Chris is showing us the scene, this is about 2 blocks from the White House, 2 blocks from us in our ABC News Bureau here in D.C. This shooting happening around 2 o'clock Eastern Time. We will continue to bring in all the details, keeping our fingers crossed just one day before Thanksgiving that these members of the National Guard can survive the shooting that has taken place this afternoon. Our coverage will continue on ABC News Live and abcnews.com. I'll be back with the entire team for World News Tonight. I'm Kira Phillips. Sorry to bring you this news on the day before Thanksgiving, but we're going to stay on the story with all the details, hopefully be able to update you on these two members of the National Guard. I'll see you over on ABC News Live right now. Hope you'll join me.
This has been a special report from ABC News.